Many years ago, in 1620, the Wampanoag encountered a group of English settlers in what would become Plymouth, Massachusetts. These settlers, called the Pilgrims, had fled England in search of religious freedom and arrived in North America on a ship called the Mayflower. Unprepared for life on the lands of the Wampanoag, the Pilgrims had little food or shelter, and they suffered great hardship. The Wampanoag were also suffering because of awful diseases brought into their country by earlier settlers. Even so, in 1621, the Wampanoag approached the Pilgrims. A neighboring tribal nation was threatening the Wampanoag, so they wanted English weapons for defense. In return, the Wampanoag helped the settlers to grow crops and to survive the harsh winter. After the harvest, the English held a feast in celebration and were joined by Wampanoag warriors. Although the Wampanoag and the Pilgrims came from very different cultures, they gave thanks together on this day. You may have heard this story of how Thanksgiving began, but it leaves out the darker parts of the history of this holiday. Within a generation, the English held Thanksgiving feasts in celebration of the massacre of the Wampanoag, rather than in celebration of giving thanks. The origins of Thanksgiving actually date back much further than 1621, long before settlers set foot on the lands of Native American peoples. The Wampanoag and other tribal nations gave thanks to the world around them. They had a close relationship with the natural world and often held feasts and ceremonies. The Mashpee Wampanoag tribe continues these traditions to this day, and we can learn from their spirit of gratitude and generosity. In many indigenous communities, Thanksgiving is still very much a religious holiday, while others consider it to be a secular or non-religious celebration. It is celebrated across the United States on the fourth Thursday in November. Thanksgiving is a day when people come together to give thanks and to spend time with their friends, family, and loved ones. George Washington first announced a National Thanksgiving Day of Prayer in 1789. Celebrations varied between states until President Lincoln turned Thanksgiving into a national holiday in 1863. This helped bring together people and families torn apart by the Civil War. In 1941, President Roosevelt set the date for Thanksgiving as the fourth Thursday in November. Different people have different Thanksgiving traditions, and Native American tribal nations observe Thanksgiving in different ways. Some gather to give thanks to the world and to God for sustaining them throughout the year. Some hold a powwow to celebrate their culture and to enjoy a day of food, music, and dance. Others consider it a day of mourning and reflect on the harm and violence settlers have caused over the centuries. Something everyone has in common, however, is the sense of coming together as a community. For many people, Thanksgiving is an all-day event. In keeping with the spirit of sharing, it is common to invite people without a family to join the celebration. Many people also hold food drives for the hungry or volunteer community meals for the poor. Thanksgiving meals vary between regions, but they usually include turkey, mashed and sweet potatoes, corn, cranberry sauce, and pumpkin and sweet potato pie. Most of these ingredients are native to the Americas and have been used by Native American tribal nations for thousands of years. On Thanksgiving morning, many people watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade on TV, which is held in New York City every year. The parade has been a tradition for around 100 years and features marching bands from across the United States. After the Thanksgiving meal, people often play games or watch football. On this day, you can say Happy Thanksgiving as a greeting to those who celebrate it, and take a moment to remember the Wampanoag and indigenous peoples across the Americas who lost their lives.
If you liked this video, you can find it and so many more at clickview.net. Sign up for free today.